Hey troops, Roxee here and welcome to Roxee Plays Games and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Before I get into today's video, I want to do my usual thank you. So thank you for everyone who has liked my previous videos and thank you for everyone who has subscribed to the channel. As always, it is really appreciated, and I want to do a big thank you for my two most recent subscribers. Sorry, I can't pronounce this name, so I'm just going to call you Wicked. WYKKYDYVC, thank you very much for subscribing, and also Carl, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel, Carl, and everyone else who has subscribed previously. For anyone that doesn't know, subscribing to YouTube channels doesn't cost you a single penny. It is free to subscribe, but in turn you are helping that content creator's channel grow. So yeah, please do subscribe if you haven't already. Right, what's the plan for today? Well, I've had a bit of a break from recording videos, just so I can do some planning of what I'm going to be doing. And for Kerbal Space Program, we are at the point now where I want to go to the Mun, or to the moon, but it's called the Mun in Kerbal Space Program. I have got a list of things that I wish to achieve. They're mainly guided by mission control and the administration building. But in my head, I want to get to the Mun. I want to do some probe stuff on there. I then want to switch over to putting Kerbins on the Mun, and then I'm going to contemplate going to season 3, which I will talk about once we get there. Right, so we've got a bit of money, we've got a bit of science. Things I want to do is I want to upgrade the research and development to level 2. I want to go into the administration building, and I want to upgrade the probe frenzy from 1 to number 2. This is going to give us a bigger discount, not bigger discount, sorry, a bigger profit for science from probe transmissions, and also 12% science to probe recovery. We will be doing a little bit of that, but not too much. Right, so let's accept the strategy. That just swaps 1 and 2 over. And mission control, I want to grab a whole bunch of... Oh, right there. Before I go into mission control, I want to go into research and development, because we've got a lot of science here. Now, what I want to aim for is unmanned tech. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'll do miniaturization. That's going to look a little bit of stuff. Precision engineering. This is going to give us a communitron transmission dish, and that's just a bit more powerful and faster. So we'll research U. I want to do, right, I'm just ticking off what I've done here. Upgrade R&D, miniaturization and precision. I want to upgrade propulsion system. I could save, do a bit of science and get the unmanned tech. However, I'm pretty confident that the science that I'm going to do initially for the Mun is going to give me enough. So I'm going to do propulsion systems. Let's research you. I also want to do landing. Where's the landing? There we go. There's the landing. Because not in this episode, but certainly in the next episode, we're going to land on the Mun. So let's do you. Research. And then once we've got another 250 science in, we're going to grab this unmanned tech. The reason why I want the unmanned tech is for this here, the MacJeb ascent and landing tool, but I don't really need it for now. I mean, I can do ascents. They're not great, but I can do them. the landing goal is going to be really handy, and I'm not going to be landing today, so I don't need it now. Right, now we can go to mission control. We can go to available, and that's going to hopefully unlock some new stuff. So we've got break the sound barrier. Have at least one crew member on board. Oh no, we don't want to do that one just yet. That's crew stuff. A lot of these, excuse me, a lot of these are crew stuff, or putting stuff. This whole longitude of the ascending node and argument of the misses, the periapsis. I don't understand that, so I'm not going to be doing any of them. We can do a high res scan of Kerbin, so we'll grab you, and we can do a high res scan of the Mun. We've already got low res scan of the Mun. Yeah, low res scan of the Mun. Cool. We got anything else I can grab? Minmus. That's crude. Eve, Juna, Minmus, Kerbal, Minmus, Kerbal. Oh, you know something? I can put this on and just haul it. I'm just gonna haul it up. Altitude 100,000 meters to 110,000 meters. So if I do that on a vessel that's going to the Mun, that will work. That's going to give me 8 science and a chunk of money. No. No. I think that's all I can grab. Cool. Right. Let's jump into our VAB. I have already got some vessels made. Just to save some time and faffing around, and I've done some testing on the sim tester here. Right, so let's open up, and I want to do my high res scan of Kerbin first. High res scan probe Mark 1. I think this is the one that I need, and this is straightforward. It's just got a couple of fuel tanks, a Reliant engine underneath, and then we've got the high res imager to do the high res, a couple of Probodobodymes for storage, a bunch of batteries, and that's pretty much it. It's very, very simple. And the antennas here. Actually, should I swap them out? Do I need to swap them out for the Communitron? I think I do. These do the fat. This will be fine for that. It'll be fine. Surely. Yeah, we'll be fine. Right, let's launch. Get this up into the air. Right, let's do that, do that. Right, so we need to go on a polar orbit for this one. Start tilting it over. Get you over, get you left a little bit. On prograde. So we're aiming for an inclination of 90 degrees. And because we've launched at sunrise, we should have the sun with us for most of the time. Alright, so we've dropped the throttle back a little bit. Keep this to around about a minute. inclination over to 90.88, 89, let's flick orbit on here. Right, that is not too bad. There's a little nudge over to the left. Keeping an eye on my time here to Apple Axis. Lots of things to look at. Obviously, when I get the Mac Geb, where have we gone? I get my Geb. When we get the Ascent tool, I will be able to set it so it does it itself, but obviously I'm doing it manually at the moment, which is all fine. So this is going to be a slow ascent to get to where we want to, but it's more precise is what I'm aiming for. Oh, there's the moon and the sun. Right, let's get rid of our fairing. Get rid of that now. And we'll get our antennas and solar panels out. Should be alright at this height. And we want to get a apoapsis and periapsis of around about 70 kilometers. Not too worried about being exactly precise, but there or thereabouts. That's what this high resolution imager works best at. I think it's 100. 70. I'm sure it's 70. I hope it's 70. I can always do some adjustment if I'm wrong. Right, let's cut off the engine there. I just want a very quick... Oh, I can't go to Space Center because I'm not in space. Resume. I need to get above 70 kilometers on here. Alright, make sure that that doesn't drop down to 0. Although we should be alright. We're going to be in space now. Let's... Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to circularize at the apoapsis. Go. That should work out alright, hopefully. Oh. Run out of fuel on that bit. So we've gone past the apoapsis. That's why the height is dropping, but we're not too far off, so we're okay. We are okay. I'll do. Right, we're in an orbit. Let me just double check. I just want to double check that it is 70 kilometers and not 100. Come in here. I'm pretty sure it is 70, but I just want to double check. Science. Where are you? High res imager. Yeah, it is 70. All right, I was right. Better to be right than wrong. Let's leave. Let's come down to you, radar, high res scan. Go to vessel. It's a bit squeaky today. Right, here's our high-res scan. I could fine-tune this, circularize at the periapsis. Just bring down this apoapsis to 70 kilometers, which we will do. But what I want to do is I want to turn on you, and I want to turn these off. I've got these on, I've left these on, because this is an old probe I just adjusted, because I want to see whether I can actually get this to the MUN to do a high-res scan. It's not essential to do it, but if I can, and I can use this probe as well. I don't know if I'm going to have enough delta V. I don't think I will, but I might be able to squeeze it over there. Either way, this is now in a 70 kilometer orbit of Kerbin, and we're doing our high-res scan. And if we bring this down to here, we can already see that's our low-res scan. It's almost done on the altimetry. The biome is looking good. And so is the visual. So that's that bit done. Right, next I wanted to... what did I want to do? Go back to the space station. It's space center. And I was umming and ahhing about doing a MUN flyby and getting the science straight away. However, one of the problems that you have with the MUN, and for those of you that obviously play this will know this already, we go into our tracking station here. And we zoom out. Here's the MUN here. The way communication works, you can see all these lines here. Just turn them off for a second. The way communications work is you've got all of your communication sensors on Kerbin, and they're transmitting out to the probe. So I've got a probe here, I've got a probe here, and then we've got all of these probes that are going around here. So I've got one here, high-res scan. So he's connected to 5 different things. Got 4 on the ground, and he's also connected to the radar altimeter. So he's got lots of ways of communicating back to Kerbin. When we go out to the MUN, if I'm on this side of the MUN, I can try and zoom myself in. If I'm here on this side, I can't communicate through the MUN. So if I've got a probe on this side of the MUN, and it doesn't matter how far out I am, potentially, unless I'm like a gazillion miles away, I can't communicate through the MUN. So while I'm on this side, if I'm doing any scanning or anything like that, it's going to lose communication and not work. And that is a problem. We've also got the sun that is a problem. So if I'm on this side of the MUN, I'm not going to have sun, but we can provide enough power to last while we're on the dark side of the MUN. We can't do anything about communication on this side of the MUN unless we stick a set of relays in a perpendicular angle around the MUN, a triangle, perpendicular triangle around the MUN, so that they're all communicating with each other and communicating back to Kerbin. So anything that's on this side of the MUN can then communicate with one of those probes that's in an orbit around MUN, which will then get relayed back to Kerbin. So that's the plan. We're going to stick up a set of relays, and I've got all of the details that I need to set them up in. We're going to set up a set of relays around the MUN, and then that will enable us to communicate while we're on the other side of the MUN. It will just make things a little bit smoother, a little bit easier. So let's get into our VAB. open sesame, and I want my Mun probes. Got loads of stuff here. Mun relay rocket 1. What's that? No, this one here I think I want. Let's have a little look what we've got. So what we've got here, excuse me, what we've got here, Reliant engine. We've got 3 Thumper solid rocket boosters on the side, and I've got these little fins on at a slight angle, so basically when we detach these they'll push off to the side. And then scrolling up, very simple, we've got this is not what I want. This is not the Mun this is the Mun return rocket. I don't want the Mun return rocket, I want the Mun relay rocket. Derp. Here we go. So same sort of setup as far as the bottom part, but the top part, this is where it looks all funky. Right, so we've got 3 relays. If I come to this part here, and I'll take it off. So basically all we've got here is a decoupler. We've got a Ant liquid fuel engine with a very small fuel tank. I've got, which one is it? This one here, the Oscar A. Probe-Benign Hex, a rechargeable battery tank, couple of extendable panels, and the antennas, high gain antennas. So I've got 2 of them on this. Oh, can I move that all the way up there? And then that means I can move this one up a notch. No, that's going to be clippy. Bring you down. I will bring you back down to where it was. So I've got 2 of them. And then the 3rd probe is part of this whole construction here. Really simple. In here, I've just got some batteries. And that's it. So let's close you. What I do want to do, though, is I want to take you off there and put on one of them, just to get a bit more control. I'm not sure if I put that in the right place actually. Put you there. Just have a bit of extra control, because this is quite long and heavy. Right, so that's it. You'll see how this all works, but basically I'm going to drop them all off at different points. I've got all of the numbers wrote down. So yeah, let's save and launch. Got a text message. What's this all about? Righty. Let's put you on, and launch. So we're going to do a normal equatorial orbit launch, heading round to the east, and we're going to be heading to the Mun for the very first time. Right, let's start turning over. Get rid of you. So this is doing no science whatsoever. This is purely just a bit of prep work for our science probes that will be coming after this one. Ready to get rid of these, and you'll see these fins push these rockets out to the sides. Just stops them from whacking back in on the bottom engine and destroying it, which could be a massive problem if that was to happen. Okay, right, let's drop our throttle back a little bit. Keep our time to Apple axis to around about a minute or under. Anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute's good. If you're really close to 30 seconds and then it starts dropping down too quick, then you won't reach your Apple axis, which will mean that you're going to start descending. But I don't want it too high. That's where we're going, guys. We are going to the moon. To the moon, everybody. It's now flipped over to orbit. We're in a very high atmosphere now. Start to see all the stars. Does look good. Looks very good. I'd love to go into space. Absolutely love it. Would never ever happen in a month of Sundays. Drop the throttle back a little bit more. So I'll get my Apple axis up to about 80 kilometers, there or thereabouts. And then we will circularize. Get my jab back open. So I'm using the maneuver tool to do things like circularizations and stuff like that. And the Mac Jeb to activate, so I can just basically sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. That looks cool. Almost looks like a marble. Throttle back a little bit more. Let's get rid of the the fairing, and we'll get our first set of antennas out. So we've got good control and battery power coming in. Right, we're in space. That'll do there, won't it? Let's circularize at the Apple axis. Create a node, 295 meters per second required. And then what I'm also going to do, I don't know if I've got these on a hotkey. Have I got them a hotkey? No, I haven't. That's fine. I want to extend you. Extend you. This is going to be the first probe that we are going to release. And the last thing that you want to do is release it and have no control over it because it's got no antennas connected. Right. We're in a nice little orbit. What we want to do now is we want to get ourselves to the moon. So let's go into map view. And we're going to use AstroGator to plot our route to the moon. Close AstroGator down, and that's put us in a periapsis of 179. That's okay. I'm going to have to do some adjustments once we get there, but yeah, I'm alright. Actually, that's the first one, isn't it? 114, that's even better. I think that's the first one, and that's the second one. Not sure which way round it goes. Can I... Maneuver 1, maneuver 2. Just move you out of the way a little bit, please. Maneuver 1, 73. No, that's not telling me. Right, either way, let's execute next node. We'll see which one we get. I think it might be this one here. No, it should be this one here, shouldn't it? It should be this one here. We'll see. We do need to do a stage midway through, well, not midway through, right near the end. Right, where's the mun? There's the mun. So MacJeb's doing this all for me, speeding up time, and then it'll do the burn for me as well. So we're going to go around it all the way around the opposite side of Kerbin, and just as we see the mun rising around here is when it'll do its maneuver. Not sure why it's slowed down there, slowed down time. I think it might have just been setting up ready. Right, and we should see the mun popping up. Slowing down time, there's the mun, and we're going to start our burn. Here we go. So if you don't have all this MacJeb, that's when you would do your burn, as soon as the mun kind of comes over the horizon. And that should get you an intercept, but obviously this is going to be a little bit more accurate. Right, get ready to do our staging. Stage, go into map view. I just want to see which one is putting us on, the blue or the green. Put your comments in below, which one's going to be, blue or green? It was the green, ladies and gentlemen, it was the green. The one I wanted it to be. Cool. Oh, Britta, is it? What's going on? What's going on? It's going ballistic. What's happened? Oh no! We have breakage. We have breakage. What happened there? What have I hit? Have I hit my... Oh no! Oh no! Right. Let's revert flight back to launch. I completely missed what happened then, so I don't know what the problem was, but it's clearly hit something and something's broke and set off my plan. Oh dear. Right, we'll just put that down to a bit of testing. The Kraken attacked us, as some other people say in other videos. I don't know what the Kraken is. Well, I do know what the Kraken is, but I don't know what the Kraken is in Kerbin. Right, let's try that one again. This time I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on. Oh, this is a bit of a pain. At least we didn't get all the way to the mun and it happened. It seemed like part of... Oh, I know what I did. I know what I did. I hit the space bar and it started the next stage, which obviously is part of the probes. That's what I did. That was user error. Pilot Space Commander error. Yeah, I think that's what happened there. Never mind. We'll put that down to newbiness. Thankfully, we didn't have a crew on board, so no one lost their lives. Make sure we don't do that one again. Trying to get this on to 90. There we go. again, we're going to drop our throttle down. Right, let's get this into an orbit. Righty, we're almost at our orbit, and I realised what I had done wrong. Well, it was a mixture of me hitting the spacebar, but I hit the spacebar, and I was supposed to. It was actually my staging. Check your staging. My next stage was mixed with my first probe. Or last probe as it is, well, middle probe, whichever way you want to look at it. But yeah, that's what I had done wrong. My staging was all messed up. So when I hit spacebar, it did do this bit, but it also did this bit here, and that all broke up and messed everything up. Referee. Right, well, I fixed that now anyway. That's all ready to go. Once we do our next staging, we're just coming up to our orbit, apoapsis height. What I will do is extend these at the ready, because this is going to be our first probe that I'm going to be using. Extend and extend. Right, where are we? Coming up into space. Let's fast forward time a touch. I'll get into actual space, and then we'll circularize. There we go. Let's circularize at the apoapsis. Create and execute. Tiny little burn. 3.1 meters per second. Right, so little error on my part. Wasn't a cracking attack. It was user error. Cool, right, let's speed up time. Well, it should do it on its own, because I've got the MacJeb Maneuver Planner tool doing it for me. There we go. Good thing about this is you don't overshoot your point of execution. Excellent. Right, that's got us into an orbit. Next thing we want to do is we want to plan our route to the Mun. Let's click on create maneuver. Thank you. Right, and 115, that's fine. Let's execute next node. We do need to do another staging before the end. Very, very close though, isn't it? Very, very close. Let's go back into normal view and double check my staging again. Yeah, you can see it highlights green when you hover over it. So that's where we're going next. So what had happened in the last one is they went and these went as well, but the engine didn't activate on this because the engine's not activated, but it decoupled and then messed up everything, messed up the whole sort of like maneuver, knocked it out, started spinning. And I'll explain the whole orbital mechanical procedure once we get there. Get to the moon. Got a whole load of numbers wrote down. And that should bring us down. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Excellent. Right, we don't need this second one. One, 3, 8. So let's fast forward to here. Right, so what I want to do is I want to have eventually an apoapsis height of 377.35 kilometers and a periapsis height of 103.85 kilometers. So that's what I want to eventually get to. Righty, so and also what I want to do is I want to try and have my periapsis and apoapsis height either side of the moon, rather than front and back, because if I have one of them at the back I won't be able to maneuver it because I won't have communications, if that makes sense. So let's let me change my apoapsis height to 377.35 kilometers at the periapsis. There we go. So it's going to be slightly off, but both of those points will have communication with the moon, with Kerbin, sorry. And it's going to move anyway over time. Oh, that's doing itself. Yep. All's good in the hood. Got plenty of delta V for doing what we're doing here. I will explain everything in a second. Just let me get all set up and then it will all come apparent. I wouldn't have known how to do this. I did actually watch a video, so it's not all of my workings. Mike Albin. Oh, Arbin. Is a guy that I've been watching his tutorials on how to do all of this sort of stuff. Right, so we've got an apoapsis height of 377 and we want a periapsis height of 103. So what I need to do is zoom around to here and change my periapsis at the apoapsis to 103.85. Create and execute. Tiny little burn to do that. And that is going to put me in an orbit. Now it's off center orbit, but it should give me a period of 2 hours. So basically that means it takes 2 hours to go around. And that's what this period means. So let's wait for this to be executed. I can do this manually, it's not a problem. I'm just doing it through here. We lost communication. Oh, we got it back. Oh, that's close. But we should be okay. Should be okay. Yeah. See the green line? That's our communication line. If I had my apoapsis here, I wouldn't have had a communication line. I wouldn't have been able to do that burn, which would have been a real farce. So you kind of want to, if you can, try and get your apoapsis and periapsis to the left and right of the Mun as you're looking at curbing. Right, so we've now got a period of 2 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. That is exactly what you want to have. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop a probe off at the Apple axis. We're then going to increase his period to 3 hours. So what's then going to happen is one's going to be going around in a 3-hour orbit, like that, while the rest of them is going to be going in a 2-hour orbit. So obviously mathematics tells you the 2-hour orbit is going to be here an hour before the 3-hour orbit. We then drop the second one off, increase his periapsis period to 3 hours. So he's going to be an hour ahead of the other one. He's then going to be in a 3-hour orbit, which will leave one left in a 2-hour orbit. He will then get all the way around here, increase his to 3 hours, and then we'll have 3 probes in a 3-hour period, or with a 3-hour period, but all with an hour interval in between all of them. And that is essentially what we're going to do. So, and I'll show you in a bit more detail how that's going to work now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to warp, because I've gone past the Apple axis now and a fair bit past it. So I'm going to warp back down to here. We're going to go into normal view. And then once the time warping has finished, right, so we're at periapsis, or Apple axis now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control from here. We're going to decouple. You can put all of these on action keys if you wish. But we've decoupled and now we're controlling this badger here. So we're going to go prograde. He's on a 2-hour 15-second because we just pushed away. And we are going to put this up to 3 hours. Now watch the time, it will go quickly. I'm going to do some adjustments with the engine. 40, 50, cut the engine there. I'm going to bring the throttle limit or thrust limit all the way down, so I can fine tune this a lot better. We want 3 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. I'm going to throttle back down, throttle all the way down. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, bash my keyboard. Right, so he's now in a 3-hour orbit. So if we go out to here, we can see that's our original relay. And it's going in a 2-hour orbit, so it's going to take 2 hours to get to there. But the one that we're on now is going to go in this blue orbit. It's going to take 3 hours. So by the time he gets round, the other one is going to be an hour ahead. Or reversely, by the time we get our original one here, the new one is going to be over here somewhere. So that's it. So what we need to do now is we need to go back. Matter of fact, I'm going to rename this one. Rename a vessel. So this is going to be Alpha, accept you. And then we want to go back to our relay rockets, Mark 1. Here we go. Right, so what we need to do now with this guy is we need to warp back around to our apoapsis. And as he warps around, you'll see the other one is an hour behind, essentially. So now, when we are this side of the Mun, which is actually quite convenient that it's worked out this way, the apoapsis is now on this side of the Mun. We haven't got communication direct to Kerbin. However, our communication is going to this relay, which is then in turn going to the Mun. You can see by these green lines. So that is actually really, really handy that it's worked out this way. Right, let's decouple our next one. So we just need to put an antenna out. We then want to decouple. And then we need to wiggle this out. Let's flick over to Oh, can't I take control of this? What have I done here? Oh no, have I made an error? I may have made an error. I may have made... No, I haven't. No, I haven't. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Whew. I thought I made an error then. Right, let's extend you. Was it not letting me extend you? There we go. Extend you. Extend you. Go on to prograde. Let's just do a tiny little... Active engine. There we go. And we want to do the same with you. We want to get him into a 3-hour period. $40, $50, $56. Cut the engines right back. We've got plenty of ignitions on this. 75 ignitions. Oof, nearly overshot it then. Getting a bit carried away. 30, 40, 50, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Oh no, 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 I pressed the wrong button. Right, let's go retrograde, get that back. Down. Press Z instead of X. I'm sure everyone's done that at some point. Let's find out we can get this back down. That's not a problem. Cool. Right. You are now in a 3-hour orbit. We're going to rename you. Rename vessel. You are now a Bravo. Accept. What I didn't do with the last one, I have this thing here called persistent rotation. It's a new mod that I've installed, and basically what that does, it does a few things, but one of the cool things that it does, if I can get this, oh, that's why I put you on there. If I twist this around to face the sun, and then I go relative rotation, set, and then sun, it references the sun. So now it will always face the sun. So it will maneuver this, twist it around to always face the sun. I didn't do that with the other one. So let's go to you and do the same. So no matter where it is, it will always be facing the sun. Even if the moon's in the way, it'll always face the sun. So we get maximum solar exposure, which isn't a problem with the smallness of this vessel anyway, but if it was something a bit bigger and there's things in the way, then that could be a problem. But I just want to get into a habit of doing it this way. Right, let's go back to our original one. Go to vessel, go. Okay, right, so we need to now, if we have a look at this, we've got one probe here. We've got this probe here that we just dropped off. That's now in a 3-hour orbit. Pretty much the same as the other one. Lines are slightly off, but that's not a massive issue. But what we're going to do is we're going to walk round to here, and you'll now see we've got this probe here, the one that we just dropped off, the Bravo. The Alpha's now around here, and we're going to be here. All we need to do is just increase this period to 3 hours. And go. Ooh, overshot it slightly. Let's go retrograde. Let's put these engines right down. And then let's just bring that down. There we go, 3 hour. And then if we go back out, you can now see we've got a probe here, we've got a probe here, and a probe here. And if we bring up this one here, control here, and then that one, you can see got a nice equilateral triangle going around Kerbin. So no matter where we have a probe, if I was to speed up time, this probe here, see how he's now on the other side of the moon. So his direct communication can't go to Kerbin, but he can go to here, which in turn is going back to here. But if he was to lose communication with this one, he's got communication with this one as well. And it's also somehow going through the very edge of the moon. That's probably a broken, oh yeah, it's broken communication. It could also connect to our geostationary rocket, and at some point the high space one as well. If we just speed up time a little bit. There we go. So it's now connected to this one here. So we've got lots of ways of communicating back to Kerbin. So when we send up our other probes and we're doing science and all that sort of stuff, we will have full communication back to Kerbin. So I think on that note, I'm going to call it an end of an episode. And next episode is we're actually going to send up our science vessels and start doing some science stuff. So the first one is going to be our return probe. So it's just going to go up to the moon, gather some science, and return back to Kerbin. We're then going to be doing our high and low res scans of Kerbin, get it all mapped in preparation for us landing on the moon. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's been a bit of a funky one with our little error, but if you did like the video, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when new videos come out. A big thank you again for Wicked and Carl for recently subscribing. It is really appreciated, and everyone else who has subscribed in the past. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to do a Mun video, or our Mun videos, every day this week until we've done everything that we need to do. So lots of videos coming out each day. So yeah, stay safe and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.